Have you ever found yourself forgetting little things lately? Sometimes you walk into a room and wonder, why did I come in here? Or you wake up in the morning with your mind wrapped in a fog, struggling to focus on anything. Have you noticed that you're just a bit slower when you need to think on your feet or process complex information? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us at this stage of life start to worry about our memory and mental clarity, and our first reaction is often, "Oh, that's just aging." But I want you to pause and really consider, is it just aging? Or could there be something else? Some habit or food you consume every day without realizing its impact, silently affecting your precious brain. We tend to trust long-held beliefs about diet and lifestyle. We think, I've eaten this my whole life. How could it be bad? Or, it's supposed to be healthy, so it must be harmless. The truth is, your body at this age works very differently. What was once harmless, or even beneficial, when you were younger, can now act as a wolf in sheep's clothing, a silent attacker on your aging body, especially your brain. Sometimes the very things you consider normal are actually contributing to the memory lapses and lack of focus you're experiencing. That common wisdom you've relied on may no longer hold true for you. Exactly. We've set up the problem and challenged old assumptions. Now, it's time to dig deeper. Why do things that once seemed harmless affect us so differently as we age? It's simple. Once you hit your 60s, 70s and beyond, your body, especially your brain, becomes much more sensitive. Your ability to process sugar slows down. Inflammation flares up more easily and takes longer to heal, and blood circulation may no longer be as smooth as it once was. Your brain needs a stable, nutrient-rich, low-inflammation environment to perform at its best. Yet some extremely common foods are doing just the opposite. They're stirring up chaos, triggering inflammation, and clogging crucial communication pathways in your brain. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on the truth behind this phenomenon. I'll pinpoint 5 everyday foods you may be eating right now. Foods that seem harmless, but are actually undercover saboteurs quietly harming your brain. I won't just name them. I'll explain why they're dangerous for you at this age and share excellent alternatives, the real superheroes your brain will thank you for. If you're eager to keep your mind sharp, improve your memory so you never forget what matters, and maintain your independence and confidence every day, this information is vital. Don't go anywhere. Watch all the way to the end of this video, because what you're about to learn could change the way you think about your diet and brain health forever. Great. We understand why this information matters to you. Now let's dive into the details. We'll look at each of these 5 undercover saboteurs one by one. The first item on the list you need to watch out for if you want to protect your aging brain is sugary drinks. You might think that a can of soda, a sweetened iced tea, or even a bottled fruit juice is harmless, just something to quench your thirst or give you a quick energy boost. That's the common belief. Lots of people, including younger folks, treat these beverages as perfectly normal. But for a brain your age, sugary drinks are more than just sugar. They're a sugar bomb that shocks your entire system. When you drink these, your blood sugar skyrockets almost instantly. At our age, the body can no longer process that massive spike as smoothly as when we were younger. That rapid rise and subsequent crash triggers acute inflammation in the tiniest blood vessels in your brain. It disrupts the way your neurons communicate. Have you ever noticed that after just one soda or bottled juice, you feel a bit tired or foggy a short while later, and it's hard to concentrate? That's your brain reacting to that sudden sugar surge. What's dangerous is that this effect isn't a one-off occurrence. If you regularly consume these drinks, The inflammation and neural disruption build up over time. They silently erode your brain's ability to function at its best, often without any obvious, immediate link. So rethink your go-to thirst quencher. This sugar bomb is definitely not something you want in your system if you're aiming to keep your mind sharp and your brain operating smoothly. We've already exposed the sugar bomb in drinks. Now, if those liquids can harm your brain, what about something even more familiar and seemingly innocent, a staple on many Vietnamese tables? I'm talking about refined grains, white bread, polished white rice, and pastries made from white flour. You might think of these as your primary energy sources, the carbs you need to power through your day. That belief is deeply ingrained. But for an aging body and brain, refined grains are actually a form of hidden sugar and a potent trigger for inflammation. Here's the picture. When you eat white bread or highly polished white rice, your body converts them into sugar almost as fast as drinking a soda. That's because the nutrient-rich bran and germ, packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, have been stripped away during refining, leaving almost pure, simple starch. This sudden sugar surge mirrors that of sugary drinks, sparking systemic inflammation, including in your brain. And without fiber, the energy these foods provide is unstable, often crashing after a meal, leaving you feeling mentally sluggish and weighed down. Have you ever noticed that after a big plate of white rice or a couple slices of white bread, your mind feels foggy or slow, or experienced vague aches you chalk up to getting older, when in fact they might be linked to low-grade chronic inflammation fueled by too many refined grains? That's the silent damage they cause. There's no immediate glaring problem, but over time, regular consumption slowly erodes your brain cells' ability to function at full capacity. So don't treat refined grains as just carbs. At an age when your brain needs stability and anti-inflammatory support, they're far from the energy source you should rely on. We've covered the sugar bomb in drinks and hidden sugars in refined grains. Now let's move on to another hugely popular and irresistibly tasty category: fried foods. You can hardly resist that crispy aroma and satisfying crunch. The common belief is that frying is simply a cooking method, delivering instant flavor and pleasure. But for an aging brain, fried foods are far more than just oil and grease. They're mobile inflammation factories and stealth enemies of your brain's blood vessels. Here's why. When cooking oil, often low quality or repeatedly reused, is heated to high temperatures for frying, its chemical structure changes, producing inflammatory compounds and harmful free radicals. When you eat these foods, those toxins enter your body, triggering widespread inflammation and oxidative stress. This inflammatory assault is especially dangerous for the tiny, delicate blood vessels that feed your brain. Over time, it can stiffen and narrow those vessels, reducing the flow of oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to your brain. Have you noticed that after a plate of fried food, you feel heavy and lethargic? Or that your thinking slows down, making it hard to focus on anything that requires alertness? That's your body reacting to the inflammatory load. The silent damage here is to your blood vessels. It doesn't happen overnight, but regular consumption of fried foods gradually builds up plaque and diminishes blood flow to your brain, leaving you with more frequent mental fog. So no matter how delicious it tastes, the price your brain pays for fried foods is simply too high. A momentary flavor fix is not worth sacrificing your long-term clarity and health. All right. After sugary drinks, refined grains, and fried foods, let's talk about another convenient category that many older adults rely on: processed meats. I'm referring to sausages, bacon, packaged ham, deli meats, and the like. You might view these as a quick, easy way to get protein in your meals, or simply enjoy their flavor. The common belief is that they're an acceptable, everyday food choice. But for your aging body and brain, processed meats are a chemical cocktail that fuels inflammation and introduces unhealthy elements into your system. Here's why. Excessive sodium. These products often contain extremely high levels of salt, which puts pressure on your blood pressure and harms blood vessels, including those that carry blood to your brain. Preservatives, nitrates, nitrites, used to preserve color and prevent spoilage, these compounds can convert into potentially cancer-causing chemicals. They also promote inflammation and oxidative stress, damaging brain cells over time. Unhealthy saturated fats. Many processed meats are high in saturated fat, which contributes to arterial plaque and reduced circulation. Have you noticed that after eating processed meats, you feel sluggish or mentally slow? The high salt content can even interfere with your sleep quality, critical for memory consolidation and brain repair. The silent damage here builds up gradually. Toxin accumulation and chronic inflammation you don't immediately notice. Regularly consuming these meats will slowly undermine your vascular health and neuron function. So no matter how convenient they seem, these chemical cocktails are far from the best protein sources to nourish a healthy brain at your age. Think twice before adding them to your weekly shopping list. We've covered sugary drinks, refined grains, fried foods, and processed meats. The fifth, and arguably the most dangerous hidden enemy lurking everywhere for an aging brain, is excess added sugar. I'm not just talking about the spoonful you stir into coffee or tea. I'm talking about the massive amounts of sugar hidden in countless processed products, sweetened yogurts, breakfast cereals, sauces, cookies, candies, even savory foods. You might think of sugar as a harmless treat to indulge in, or that it simply makes everything taste better. The common mindset is, a little sugar won't hurt. But for a brain at our stage of life, excessive added sugar is a worst-case scenario. It's the number one saboteur because it triggers widespread chronic inflammation that directly impairs your brain cells' ability to function. Consuming too much sugar leads to insulin resistance, not only a diabetes risk, but also tightly linked to cognitive decline and even Alzheimer's disease, sometimes called type 3 diabetes of the brain. High sugar intake weakens the brain's ability to form and retain new memories. Have you noticed that after a sugary snack, your energy plummets, your mood sours, or you struggle to maintain focus? That's your body reacting to the sharp blood sugar spike and crash. The silent damage from excess sugar is gradual brain exhaustion, neurons growing fatigued and damaged over time, long before you fully recognize the severity of the problem. So don't just glance at sugars on a nutrition facts label. Be on high alert for added sugars hidden in almost every packaged item. This is the one thing your aging brain needs to avoid above all else. All right, we've now explored the 5 common foods that may be quietly harming your brain at this age. Sugary drinks, refined grains, fried foods, processed meats, and excess added sugar. Sounds alarming, right? It almost feels like everything delicious is on the avoid list. But don't worry. The good news is that recognizing these undercover saboteurs is only the first step. What's far more important is knowing that there are countless fantastic alternatives, tasty foods that are true superheroes for your aging brain. These options aren't just harmless, they actively protect, nourish, and enhance your brain function. Not everything is bad. There are better and even best choices waiting for you to discover. Now let's move on to the positive. uplifting part of this video: the foods you should add to your daily diet to proactively boost your brain health, keep your mind sharp, and preserve your memory. Let's meet these wonderful brain-boosting allies. Great! Now it's time to talk about the true friends of your aging brain. Instead of focusing on what to avoid, let's see what you should add to your daily diet to help your brain function at its best. List of superheroes for the senior brain. 1. Fatty fish, especially salmon, mackerel, sardines. Why they're wonderful? They are rich sources of omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA. DHA is a key building block of brain cell membranes, crucial for maintaining membrane flexibility and improving connections between neurons. Omega-3s are also powerful natural anti-inflammatories, helping counteract the inflammation we discussed earlier. Benefit you'll notice: eating fatty fish regularly can help you feel mentally lighter, react more quickly, and enjoy a more stable mood. 2. Berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Why they're wonderful? These little gems are packed with powerful antioxidants, especially anthocyanins. Antioxidants protect brain cells from free radical damage, often caused by stress, inflammation, and unhealthy foods. They have also been shown to improve blood flow to the brain. Benefit you'll notice: adding berries to your diet can help improve short-term memory and concentration. 3. Dark leafy greens. Kale, spinach, broccoli. Why they're wonderful? They are treasure troves of vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. These nutrients have been linked to slowing age-related cognitive decline. Folate and B vitamins are vital for neural function, while vitamin K supports both bone and brain health. Benefit you'll notice: eating plenty of greens can help you feel alert and support your problem-solving abilities. 4. Nuts and seeds. Walnuts, almonds, chia seeds, flax seeds. Why they're wonderful? They provide omega-3s, especially walnuts, vitamin E, and antioxidants. Vitamin E helps protect brain cell membranes from damage. The healthy fats and fiber in nuts also help stabilize blood sugar, avoiding the sugar shocks your brain hates. Benefit you'll notice: eating a small handful of nuts each day can help you feel full longer and provide steady energy for your brain. 5. Whole grains. Oats, brown rice, barley, 100% whole wheat bread. Why they're wonderful? Unlike refined grains, whole grains keep their bran and germ intact, providing fiber, B vitamins, and minerals. Fiber slows sugar absorption into the bloodstream, keeping blood sugar stable, critically important for long-term energy and brain function. B vitamins, like folate, B6, B12, are essential for neural health and neurotransmitter synthesis. Benefit you'll notice: more sustained energy throughout the day, helping you concentrate better. 6. Extra virgin olive oil. Why it's wonderful? This is a source of healthy monounsaturated fats and powerful antioxidants. Olive oil helps reduce inflammation and protect vascular health, ensuring good blood flow to the brain. Benefit you'll notice: it supports overall cardiovascular health and indirectly improves brain function. As you can see, there are many delicious and easy alternatives to harmful foods. By prioritizing these superheroes, you're proactively investing in your brain health. That's the difference. On one side, you have the undercover saboteurs, quietly eroding your brain health. On the other, you have the superheroes, actively nourishing and protecting it. The most important message I want you to take away from this video is: you are in control. Your brain health at this age is not a life sentence you can't change. Cognitive decline or memory lapses aren't inevitable just because you're older. Aging doesn't mean giving up. It means being smarter about the daily choices you make. By recognizing and minimizing the harmful foods, While proactively adding those brain-boosting superheroes to your diet, you are empowering your body and mind. You're creating the optimal environment for your brain cells to function efficiently, for your memory to strengthen, and for your mental clarity to endure. Don't underestimate the power of small dietary changes. For an aging body and brain, consistent conscious tweaks, even minor ones, can make a huge difference in your health, quality of life, and independence in the precious years ahead. Imagine waking up one morning with a clear mind, cruising through your day without mental fog, and recalling every joyful moment with your grandchildren in vivid detail. That future is in your hands. Trust your body's potential when you give it the very best. We've reached the end of our journey, uncovering the food secrets that impact brain health for older adults. You now know what to watch out for and what to prioritize to keep your mind sharp. If you found this video informative and valuable, please take a second to hit the like button. It helps this video reach more seniors who are looking for the same guidance. And if you haven't already, click subscribe and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future health videos made just for you. But most importantly, I want to hear from you. Among the 5 foods I identified as potential brain saboteurs, which one surprised you the most? Or have you realized you're regularly consuming one of these without knowing its hidden harm? Please share your thoughts, experiences, or any questions in the comments below. Your voice and your story are incredibly valuable, not just for me to understand your challenges, but as a source of inspiration and knowledge for our entire community of older adults. We are not alone in this. By sharing, we learn, support, and grow together. Thank you for spending your precious time with me today. Take action now to protect your brain health. I look forward to reading your comments and seeing you in the next video.